Today's Bible story is the story Paul's nephew saves his uncle's life. Paul met Jesus in a blinding light on the road to Damascus. Paul changed from being someone who hated Christians, becoming a Christian who spent the rest of his life telling people about Jesus. What's that, Francis John? You've just heard a story about how a little girl saved her mum who had fallen over by phoning for an ambulance for her. Wow, she was a hero. She was very scared, but she knew she needed help her mum, and the ambulance person told her what to do, and she kept doing it to help her mum until the paramedics arrived. That was really brave of her. Well, in our story today, we hear about Paul's nephew who needed to be very brave to rescue his uncle from a plot to kill him. Are you ready for our story? The story Paul's nephew saves his uncle's life. Having told lots of different people about Jesus, Paul returned to Jerusalem. Some Jews who were not followers of Jesus thought Paul had broken the Jewish law. They were angry and grabbed hold of Paul and tried to kill him. The commander of the Roman army arrived just in time and arrested Paul. He had Paul tied up with chains while he tried to find out what had happened. So many people shouting different things that he could not find out what Paul was supposed to have done. He allowed Paul to stand on the steps of the Roman barracks and talk to the crowd. Paul told the crowd how he'd become a follower of Jesus and how God had sent him to tell people who were not Jews all about Jesus. This made some people really angry and they wanted to kill Paul. The Roman commander was going to have Paul beaten, but Paul told him that he was a Roman citizen. The commander knew that he could not treat Roman citizens like this, so he had Paul's chains taken off. The next morning some Jews made a plan to kill Paul. They made a promise to themselves that they would not eat or drink anything until they had killed him. They told the Jewish leaders their plan and said, "Send a message to the Roman commander asking him to bring Paul out to you so you can ask him more questions. We will be waiting to kill Paul while he is on the way here." Paul's nephew heard about the plan. He went to the army building and told Paul. Paul sent his nephew to the Roman commander. Paul's nephew told the commander all about the plot to kill Paul. The commander listened and sent Paul's nephew away, telling him, "Don't tell anyone that you have told me about the plan." Then the commander gave an order to his army officers. He said, "I need some soldiers to go to Caesarea. Be ready to leave at 9 o'clock tonight. Get some horses for Paul to ride so that he can be taken safely to Governor Felix." The commander wrote a letter to the Roman governor Felix saying what had happened. That night Paul was taken safely to Governor Felix. We heard in our story about how Paul's nephew found out about the plot to kill Paul and how he was brave enough to tell his story to the Roman commander. Paul's nephew saved his uncle's life, as the Roman command was able to arrange for Paul to be taken safely away to Governor Felix. I wonder, have you ever had to be very brave about something? You may like to close your eyes and remember that time now. I'm going to say a prayer, and if you want to make it your prayer too, please say amen at the end after me. Dear God, thank you that you helped Paul's nephew to be very brave. Please help me to be brave when I need to face difficult things or make the right choices. Amen. What's that, Francis John? You've decided to become a superhero? How are you going to do that? You're going to make a special costume and choose a special name. Oh, what name's that? Super Bear. That sounds good. And to help you turn into a superhero, you are going to need special food. Oh, what's that? Pots of honey. I should have known. Well, thank you for joining us today for our story, the story Paul's nephew saves his uncle's life. We look forward to you joining us again soon. Goodbye and God bless.